Some say you can drive the tank at night because the insignia are fluorescent. Some say that this is the favorite tank of the band Kaiser Chiefs. All we know is, it's called the Rudy! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe. My name is Martindogger, and as part of the Black Friday bundles for 2018 WoT Tanks Blitz, I have a review of the T-34 85 Rudy. A tier 7 premium Russian medium tank in WoT Tanks Blitz. It is a tier 6 on console and on PC, which may seem a bit strange really, but the Rudy has been buffed, has been changed a little bit to near on T-43 standards, and well, as mediums go, this one ticks a lot of the boxes that I like when playing medium tanks. I had originally reviewed the tank back in May 2016 when it was first released into Blitz. The video is available obviously on the channel. If you search for Martindogger Rudy, you will find it straight away. It was part of the Baptism of Fire gameplay series, which I did, and I did that when I was just driving new tanks, drove them for 3 or 4 games, and shared those 3 or 4 first games as a Baptism of Fire gameplay review. That one was done. I was driving on Desert Sands as well in one of those games. I have a game on Lost Temple. We are here on Desert Sands 2. As you can see, it is a supremacy game. We are bottom tier, but we did manage to win the flank. Killed the T-69. The AMX CDC had buggered off already. You can see his hit points popping up already on the back end. This shot goes in as well on the side of the M6A2E1. The gun on the Rudy, it's not really Russian. It's a good gun. It's not as accurate as some of the British and German guns, but it works really well. And it has got some nice alpha to it. You can see with the full bells and whistles I'm running, I can get the reload time down to 4.5 seconds, which is excellent. We're going to take a look at the statistics after this game. We're going to take a look at the armor profile, obviously. But if you want to have the short version, buy this tank. Just go there, buy it. It is a steal for a tier 7 medium premium tank, or for any tier 7 premium tank this good. I'm not saying it can do anything because it is still a medium tank. You should not throw away your hit points. But as far as gameplay is concerned, this one has the edge for me over the VK4503, which I've recently reviewed on the channel twice. Because this one has the mobility, has got more reliable turret armor. It does not seem as strong as some of the heavies at first hand, because it is obviously a medium, but it's a rounded shape at the front, so that helps a lot. We're gonna push in, we're gonna clear this AMX and then get a bounce on the front plate, because it has an angled front plate and we can kill the CDC, giving me 3 kills and a very cheeky first class actually. And I do get that first class medal because this is supremacy. I captured a base and killed 3 higher tier tanks for only 1633 damage, which is, well, a bit embarrassing, because I've seen people play supremacy games or encounter games and they had games where they had done far more damage. And in that regard, supremacy is a bit of a, well, anti-climax when it comes to aces. But anyway, Norskins medal, good one to get. So without any further ado, let's dive into the stats and numbers. Right, and if you then do that, put all the tanks in a sheet on your screen using blitzstars.com, it kind of looks like this. And I've added the T-43 and the T-34 85 Victory for a reason. Take a look at the names of the guns. The Rudy mounts the ZIS S53, as does the Victory. But when you look at statistics, the gun performs like the T-43 gun, the 85mm D5T 85BM. Penetration numbers are exactly the same, the damage is exactly the same, except for the rate of fire. So you could consider the Rudy more of a T-43 than a Victory. The aim time is the same. It's not as good as the Edelweiss or the Hafen, and just a bit worse than the Dracula and the E3, but it has well, fairly good dispersion, really. Actually, it's the best in class. It has fairly good dispersion on movement and rotation. Actually, it's the best in class. It has -8 gun depression, not the best in class. That goes to the Dracula and the E3, but -8, very much workable. And yeah, the mobility, it's pretty good as well. Power to weight ratio 18.6. That's better than most of the tanks except for the Dracula, which has ridiculous power to weight ratio, obviously. And Eloise and Hafen have it fairly good as well. But the Rudy has just a bit better in terms of top speed. Traverse just a bit better. So all in all, except for Dracula, mobility wise, I would pick the Rudy over any of the other tier 7 premium tanks and the Victory and the T-43. Credit coefficient, it's not brilliant, 150 only. If you want a print credit, you should get the Victory. View range 240, which is on the low side. Hit point pool on the low side. But the turret armor, that's actually fairly good. 90 mils on the front and it's rounded. And we're going to take a look at that later on because that has some repercussions for the gameplay. All in all, excellent medium tank, as you can see, with a really good gun and yeah, good mobility. And to show off the armor profile, we're going to use the Panther 1 because that has a really good gun. And if you then look at all the views, the front, the left, the back and the right hand side, you can see that yeah, it's by no means a tank that can just go in there and expect to bounce a lot of shots. The turret is fairly well armored, has a nice rounded shape, giving auto bounce zones on the left and the right hand side. But then again, the cheeks are easily penetrated. And even when you're using maximum gun depression, you don't get auto bounce zones on your front plate. You have to pull back way across a ridge line, but they can then still shoot your lowered turret areas or the turret ring. So be careful with it. If, however, you wiggle the turret around, you can see what happens. You might catch a shot on your gun. There's some trollish areas on the turret as well. It is a tank that relies on mobility. And because it has a front-mounted turret, you can do stuff like this as well. If you point the gun over your track wheel and then peek out for a quick shot and shoot, provided you know what you're doing, then you have some auto bounce zones on your front, and that's on the other side as well. This one is even better, I think, because it hasn't got that machine gun port up the front. And you've seen me do that when I was engaging the AMX CDC on Desert Sands just now. I pulled myself around the corner, put a shot in, then drove back and he bounced off my front plate. And the design of the tank allows you to do stuff like that. Tanks with a mid-mounted turret can't do this because they have to expose more of the tank when they poke around corners. You are more easily shot into your tracks, into your side armor. And you do have that angled front plate on the Rudy, so yeah, it is a trick that you can do, provided you are careful. Don't poke out completely or you will get hammered through your sides. And as I've shown you on the armor profile, it is by no means a really well armored tank. The armor is on the front plate if angled, the armor is on the turret if you wiggle about. If you allow the enemy to take easy shots, you will get hammered. But like I said, you do have the mobility to keep up with the enemy and to flank around. And that's exactly what Extreme Lols is going to show us here. He is going to put, no, he was not going to put a shot into the VK4503, but you can see the armor profile on the VK as well. Quite good hull if it's angled, but the turret is just pants. Really pants. I was sent this replay by Extreme Lols on my Discord channel. He sent me it to me, said, Martin, this is a mastery. Can you use it to put up on the channel for a review, maybe on the Rudy if you are going to? I said, thank you very much for sending it in. There's going to be another subscriber replay sent in by Rodri 0H, I think, from Pink Clan. That one is epic, but this one is a really good one as well, because it shows medium gameplay in just a very, well, simple state of affairs. The team is 2 tanks down, and Extreme Lols spots this SU-152 at the spawn, who's completely oblivious to Extreme shooting him. He's actually going forward as well, and just why? I mean, what are you doing? There's someone shooting you, and yet you still try to sit in plain sight, thinking you might go away. This is actually funny here because Extreme then choose the SU-152, thinks, all right, I can go out and snipe him what I've killed him, but no, didn't work. Had to put in another shot, but he cleared the flank. By the looks of how the team is set up and the team is pushing here, and the mediums, most of the reds are probably around the ship area. So that means you will go on a flank if you are in a medium tank on a Rudy, and you will try to get flanking shots in as much as possible. You don't want to juke it out on the ship area against a Tiger, against a KV-2 and against a VK-4503. There's just no way you will be able to keep up with the DPM. And in a way, of course, this is easy gameplay. These are easy shots. But Extreme has put himself into a position where he can take these easy shots on the VK. And he can put in really effective fire. He is not camping. He is staying in a position where he can shoot and preferably hit the enemy. He hits the turret of the Armata, which is a bit unfortunate. But it's good to put another shot in. Puts the VK at 175 hit points. And that one is then killed by the Tiger P. And he now exposes T-43. Bit unlucky with the bounces really. And then he's spotted up because the KV-1S comes screaming around the corner, completely oblivious to what is happening. So Extreme puts one shot into him, and then there's another one going up the arse. There it is. And then the T-29 takes out the KV-1S. And yeah, that's just experience kicking. And the KV-1S was thinking, right, I can go in, I can clear the flank. No, you didn't. You ran straight into crossfire from 3 tanks. And that's team play really. And that has to come with experience. And if you want to become a better player, if you are new to the game, and if you think, right, it's Black Friday today, and I can see a lot of tanks available. I can see a KV-5, an AMX CDC, and a Rudy, and a VK-4503. Which tank shall I get? I will put my money on this one. Because, like I said, it ticks a lot of boxes that I really like on the tank. It has good mobility, solid DPM, it hasn't got an armor profile where you can just drive forward and then expect to bounce every single shot. But if you're careful and if you play it sensibly, you can do really good. And this game shows you that you can do nearly 4k damage in the tank and then get a nice little ace game. And yeah, 3.7k damage in a tier 7 medium tank. That's pretty respectable. Hats off to you, Extreme Lols. And thank you very much for sending the game into me. 27 shots fired, good accuracy, 26 hits, 20 penetrations as well. And it's not a massive credit earner, the Rudy, but it makes decent credits as long as you are sparingly using premium ammunition and consumables and the lot. But a really good game. And we're going from that good game straight into the next good game from Rodri0H or Rodrio. We're going to call you Roddy from now, from Pink Clan. Tier 8 game, lots of platoons, 2 platoons on greens and 2 platoons on reds as well. And if you think the last game was a good one in terms of damage and in terms of gameplay and positioning and all, boy, you're in for the treat. This one is lovely. It goes down to the very end, down to the wire, down to being really sensible, to having experience, to knowing what to do, to getting shot by a T-23E3, Ruby 69 legit in the Nomad. And yeah, I would prefer the Rudy over the T-23E3 just because of stopping power really, because of the fact that the Rudy has got that bit more punch when you're shooting and you don't lose a lot in terms of rate of fire. So yeah, that's quite good. Roddy is going into the case. You saw he got spotted, so he drives into the rock, stays there, counts to 10 and then moves forward. And he's going to rinse and repeat once he gets spotted up here. And this is actually the first good move, I think, because he realized he was spotted. There was nobody pushing in the caves on his right hand side, and that meant that, yeah, that was just that lone spotter over there, which I think is actually another T-23E3. And once that tank bails, you kind of know that there's nobody here on the upper flank. Green team has won the caves. The red team have won the town area, the factory area. And greens are already 1 tank down. That's a mutant. You can see that's not an easy pen for a Rudy. So he switches to APCR just to make sure he penetrates the shot. trying to get a few shots in on this tank, and he's still very slowly, very patiently. Why is that? Big guns. Biggity biggity big guns. There's a Jagdpanther 2. There is an SU-152. There is one shot in. Is he spotted? Yes, he is. SU-152, ISU-152. If you poke out and Reds see you and they can shoot you in a concerted effort, you are going to die. That's exactly what is going to happen to his team. He hasn't done a lot in terms of damage, 2 penetrating shots. We are 2 minutes into the game and we've already lost 4 tanks in total. 1 on reds and 3 on greens. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Really brilliant. So what do you do then? You go back because you realize the reds are pushing in and have no idea what this tank was doing. Just an E3. Why? This is exactly what happened to the other tanks from the green team. The E3 decided to push in, to go in as aggressively as possible. So the T-29 thing figures, right, I can just help. I'm going to do that as well. Rudy's moving around like a maniac. He knows his spot. He gets a lucky bounce on the butt. And the T-29 is in all kinds of trouble now. One shot in, don't bump into him. He is tracked. And then the tank is killed and they bring it down to 3 on 4 and there's 1 tank on the base. Hello, SU-152, can I shoot you again? Yes, I can. I'm not pushing too much forward, not too far forward because there's probably tanks moving in as well. Yeah, oh hello, there you are, mutant. Can I shoot you now? I'm gonna try. Yes, we can. Oh, lovely one, lovely one. That one goes in. Might have been a bounce on the front, but no, it works. And the SU-152 has overextended, he's probably reloading and he cops a flogging for it. And the mutant then shoots into the ground and at this very moment it's looking to be a very good game. But then the AMX 3090 thinks, right, there's a mutant over here, that's a juicy target, I can probably kill him. No, you get killed in the process. Rudy switches around, gets APL, then APCR, gets shot by the Jagdpanther 2, blocks a shot from the mutant, and suddenly he has to kill 3 tanks. So let's kill the first one. Where is that ISU? Quick look around. He is not spotted at the moment, but he was seen around spawn 1, spawn 2. So look at this driving. Just very carefully look at what he's doing. He's parking himself behind the rock. He's wiggling forward. He doesn't have to move completely around. Stays here, forward, backwards. Turns the tank on the spot, and he's safe from harm. It's a one-on-one now. This is experience. This is proper mediums gameplay. Kill a tank, move away, move to another spot, and it was patience in the beginning, and then a sudden outburst of driving around like a madman, going around, taking shots at the T-29, and then waiting a bit, going to another position where you were in cover and where you could get shots off. So he's going to go forward now and try to spot. Poke over the ridge. Nobody spotted. No, I'm not spotted. Right, I can move forward again. And look what he's going to do now here. I've explained it all in the spotting mechanics videos. He's going into the bush. Doesn't spot anyone. Goes forward just a little bit further. And he's using the bush for camouflage. He knows that ISU is somewhere over there. And ISU has a really bad camo rating. Oh, hello, there it is. Shoots him once, goes back, realizes he is not spotted. He can put another shot in, then moves back. Yeah, ISU fired. The ISU figured, I'm getting shot from over there. Let's just try to blind fire and hope for a penetrating hit. It doesn't work. Rudy puts in another hit on adrenaline, which it's unfortunate when a target goes away off the radar and you can't use your adrenaline properly. And you can see he's poking, he's using the cupola which is sticking out of the pipework to hopefully spot the ISU-152. And I was awaiting him. He's not spotted, still not spotted, poking out. Can I shoot you? No, not spotted. And if he's then not spotted, that means that the ISU has to be pushing in. He's probably somewhere around, he might go for a cap. Is he going to the cap area? What's he going to do? Is he over there? Not spotted. Right, I'm going to charge it. No, I'm not going to charge. Run away. Miss a shot. Luckily, the ISU is stuck with maybe a dead crew or at least a very bad crew. So he's going to get the height advantage. Puts himself onto rock. One shot in. Then burns the ISU-152. I have no idea whether there's a fuel tank in that position of the tank. But he does manage to kill the tank. And look at the damage numbers. Just look at it. Hats off, mate. Big round of applause. That was a freaking monster game in the Rudy. As a bottom tier tank, 4.2k damage, high caliber, lever Schleichos medal thingy for killing 2 tanks a tier higher. When you are a medium tank, gets the Kolobanov as well. And that is with a top tier tank and another tier 7 medium tank doing 0 damage. Hats off to you, mate Rudy. Thank you very much for sending that one in. It's not part of a subscriber replay, but it features on the channel, so I hope you're happy with that as well. So let's make the usual quick summary on the tank at hand. The T-34 85 Rudy has great mobility, and that good gun means it is made for flanking. The turret has some troll shapes in the armor profile, which is the best part of your armor profile. But at this price, it is a must-buy medium. Go get it now, quickly. My name is martindogger. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Cheers and happy tanking.